We're here. It's Friday. Friday night, Yerrr. Pro Cartel. Made by the Can't Hear AK Miss AK. Put your mom in the figure four leg lock. Follow us on Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, Twitch. AEW Revolution prediction show. It's going to be another hostage situation. Or is it going to be somewhat reasonable in the matches? So, Jeremy Pierce, High Risk Wrestling Podcast. Did I say it right?
Yeah, I'm actually doing my AEW prediction show a little bit tomorrow, but I got a bigger other things every Saturday, and also we'll be reviewing the first episode of the new Ring of Honor. Go over that and what just happened. The review show right after Revolution Sunday, as we are on the road to WrestleMania. The schedule is up for March. Going to adhere to that, but we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, and then right after WrestleMania, there'll be some changes, some good positive changes, and I'll definitely be getting the Patreon up, and you'll be seeing more content on the YouTube channel. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
All right, first match. I don't got the graphic up. Who gives a fuck? The tag match is
Which tag match?
Guns versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Clownhausen. So I mean,
And the Acclaim.
It's probably the weakest match on the card. I said the Acclaim.
Acclaim, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, the Guns, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. It's fine. I think the Guns retain. I just think the Guns retain.
It shouldn't.
Should be
why is Clownhausen on this match? It makes. I don't understand how that makes sense. I know if you is not a thing. FTR is taking a break still. They're probably going to face the Guns at Double or Nothing, I guess, for the title.
Well, let's look at the other consistent teams. Butcher and the Blade are just here. They really getting respect. And best friends are kayfabe hurt. The only other Lucha Brothers just came back, and it's whatever. Only other team that I could have probably seen being put into this match were probably Silver and Reynolds.
Fuck them.
So listen, get every title on the show. I'm expecting a random Jade Cargo match to be announced tonight on Rampage. I think Rampage is live tonight too, actually.
I mean, the Guns retain so you can face FTR later. I mean,
yes, when people are like, why would you do? Well, first of all, you take the titles off of the Claim. Well, the Claim are so high they necessarily don't need the belts. You know what I mean? And you can help establish another tag team. And the obvious story is the Guns FTR. Like, I don't. It's obvious.
Another way to work a way around Guns. I mean, FTR facing Young Bucks. Let's just work our way around it never happening.
They've already faced each other twice. We can get a third match down the line.
Third for the titles, but in terms of just strength of schedule, probably weakest match on the card. I'm not whatever.
It's going to be fun. I know that it's going to be. This is probably the comedy match of the night. And that's the one thing I do enjoy is that when you can see the wrestlers having fun and especially doing their comedy, then I'm great because everybody knows what their job is. This is definitely going to be the comedy match. It may be the weakest match, but it might be the most fun match, if that makes sense, because of everybody involved.
I suppose. Next match.
You don't like goofy wrestling for life? Come on, man.
The women's AEW Women's Championship. Haters gonna hate Saraya and Ruby Soho. I guess. They're trying to force this AEW Day One storyline for this outsider.
I
story.
love it. My show last week. I did the fantasy booking for this, and I personally love the storyline because I'm hoping, praying it leads to a women's blood and guts match.
But how is Ruby the focal point? She is an outsider. She's not a day one.
She just hurt. Statlander's hurt. Rio just came back. The storyline is in its infancy. I understand what I'm saying. Why is Ruby the focal point? But it's time. It's not a major blemish on the storyline. I enjoy this storyline.
This is real. Throw to the wall and hope it sticks. Like Saraya came in as a face to go against Britt, and then she turns randomly heel with Tony Storm.
The heel turn would have made more sense if Saraya had actually lost to Britt. But my only discrepancy with this match is I would have preferred Tony in the match over Saraya. I think that's it. Other than that, I think it's going to be a good match because I'm a fan of Jamie Hayter. I'm a fan of Saraya. I'm a fan of Ruby. It's going to be a good match. AEW, the one thing they do very, very well when they do not one or few. The one thing they do very, very well are multi-man matches. They do those very, very well. And they don't do the WWE thing with triple threat matches where it's like two people wrestle and then one gets knocked out of the ring and two people. It's going to be a good match. I think the one blemish will probably be Saraya. Jamie's retaining because I think.
Well, you say they do good multi-man matches, which I mean WWE does do multi-man matches also, but it's just like let's just take Warlord Joe, Powerhouse. I mean, why did Joe need to win? It didn't make any sense.
You're not so you telling me if they do Warlord Joe Powerhouse, big mighty men slapping man.
They did it already, and
not the triple threat match. Not the triple threat match.
They did the triple threat match.
Warlord Joe Powerhouse.
Well, it was Joe, Wardlow, and who else?
For what title?
The TNT, right? That's when Wardlow had it, and then Joe won it. Or was that just a one-on-one match? It
was a one-on-one match. They both been one-on-one matches.
I don't know what match I'm thinking of, but okay.
They both been one. Joe defeated Darby. Darby defeated Joe. Joe defeated Darby. Darby defeated Joe. Joe defeated Wardlow.
Booking something in my head that didn't happen. Probably.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I would, like I said, I would prefer Tony in this match because I think the match would just be elevated just a little bit more. But Jamie's holding on to this belt until Britt eventually turns on her. So, period. Anytime Jamie Hayter's in a championship match, she's holding on to the belt until Britt Baker turns on her.
I mean, that's just weak, predictable booking.
But sometimes the simplest booking is the best booking. Everything doesn't have to be twists and turns, and we're just doing it. The obvious story is Britt turned on Jamie. So let's just get to that point. Like, come on, man.
I suppose. I got Jamie retaining.
Absolutely.
Some tomfoolery is going to happen on the outside. I know this much. This will be the most overbooked match on the card.
Over the Fatal 4 for the tag titles? I don't think so.
As in, that's shenanigans because there's multiple teams. This is going to be overbooked by the amount of people that's not included in the match. The only thing you're going to get in the tag match is Sanjay and maybe Best Friends when they're supposed to be hurt. But Sanjay is going to do what Sanjay does.
Sanjay Dutt is amazing.
I don't know. Billy Gunn's going to be out there and
Satnam Singh.
All the acclaimed. I don't know that's his name, but this is going to be Tony, Brett, Rebel, Magus.
What I think,
somebody else in there.
I think the next chapter of this feud is going to happen. We're going to see somebody else pick a side. Who I don't know just yet.
Who knows?
I do have. Go watch the show last week, ladies and gentlemen. Howard Shows podcast. I did give you the final 5 to 6 members. So it's going to be. It's just get me to the blood and guts match. That's all I need.
Fair enough. I think this will be maybe the second weakest on the card. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but
I gotta rewatch this Roman and Cody segment.
Yeah, it's going to be overbooked this fight. No holds barred. Christian Cage versus Jungle Jack. That should have happened like last year.
Christian was hurt.
You got that bullshit Lucha draws versus Jack Perry, and he got chokeslam off a ramp, and it never happened. So
I hate this trope in wrestling where no holds bar matches are just street fights. They don't actually follow the term no holds bar. An actual no holds bar match means it's just a regular one-on-one match, but holds aren't barred. It doesn't mean you get to use weapons and low blows. It's not a no DQ match. That annoys me so much. It irks my nerves. Sammy versus Solo tonight? I'll take it. I actually think this might be one of the quickest matches on the card, actually.
It's going to be a match, man. Maybe Christian Cage is 100%. So,
my question, they do the promo of Jungle Boy at the graveyard. Why is it not I thought it was going to be a Bear to Love match. But I do enjoy heel Christian, just completely just shitting on Jungle Boy every chance he get. I love it. I can't be mad at that,
yeah. Finally we'll get a payoff, hopefully. So I think it'll be a decent match for what it's worth.
Jungle Boy lost to Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus squashed him, right?
Yes.
Luchasaurus squashed him. So the first one,
right? Something like that.
The match. Did that match actually happen? What pay-per-view was that? Was that Full Gear? Was that Full Gear 2022? Was that Full Gear? Jungle Boy beat Luchasaurus by submission at Full Gear in a steel cage match. So since Jungle Boy won the last match in this feud, is this a toss up? Is this a toss up winner?
I'm saying the original Jungle Boy Christian Cage never happened. That's when Luchasaurus chokeslammed him off.
Yeah. That never happened. I think they can extend this to like what's the next TV special? St. Patrick's Day Slam is the next TV special.
Oh
yeah, I think they
please.
I think they might extend this 2 more weeks. So I'm gonna give the W to Christian.
Oh God. Okay, extend it. Do whatever. I'm tired of this feud. Well, I can't be tired of it because it took a break. But all right, I got Christian winning somehow.
Does Luchasaurus come back?
Maybe. It got to continue. The fuckery got to continue. So, King of the TV titles versus ponytailless Wardlow. I don't know. I mean,
well, here's the thing. The winner of this match is defending the championship against Powerhouse Hobbs on the next Dynamite because he won the ladder match. I think you get more hype for Joe versus Hobbs. So I'm going to take Joe to win.
I wouldn't be surprised if Wardlow won.
Because see, here's the thing. Because at some point, even I saw the tapings. Joe's moving back to Ring of Honor. So with that into my brain, I'll switch and say Wardlow wins. Just so Joe can do his thing in Ring of Honor with the TV title. So I'll go Wardlow.
I think they're taking the Ring of Honor a little bit more seriously now. They're packing on these matches. So I got Wardlow winning.
I think Wardlow wins and then loses it immediately to Hobbs Wednesday.
Hot potato belt keeps hot potato. Let it cool down a little bit. It'll only cool down when Darby has it. So there you go.
Well, Darby's last running wasn't quick either. I mean, wasn't long either. He won. He lost like 3 weeks later to Joe.
Hot potato.
I think the last did Miro have the most recent longest reign? I think Miro did actually.
Then he lost
like lengthwise. I think Miro had the longest reign.
Next match, everyone's banned from ringside. Fucking
everyone is banned for ringside. I love it.
The match that the night of rematches. Starks beat Jericho last clean. So yeah,
I got Ricky winning. I got Ricky winning again.
So random stupid gauntlets, random stupid Jericho in a mask, and random stupid I got an open challenge, and random stupid I don't want to do it, and then Peter Avalon, and he fucks over Peter Avalon. I'm like,
you're just not a fan of anything that's going on right now.
I don't understand. Where does this go to? What's the payoff for this?
Elevating Ricky Starks to the main event. That's the payoff.
But you can do that without the foolishness.
It's Jericho. Of course, it's going to be foolishness.
Okay, and then Action Andretti beat Jericho. Where's he go to?
He's also feuding with the JAS as well.
It's just like, get over it, man. I'm just like, God, like the Chris Jericho vortex is just insane. You do better when you escape the Chris Jericho vortex. Look at everybody's ever feuded with. You do better when you escape that vortex. Or maybe it's not a vortex. Maybe Chris Jericho just elevates everybody to better storylines after you're done with them.
You have an issue with Jericho elevating people?
It's this Chris Jericho vortex. You get sucked into this vortex. You do the poop storyline, and then that's it. Remember Jericho's storyline with MJF, and it was good stuff. And then MJF does better stuff, and then Jericho's just doing the same song and dance. Well, he did feud with the BBC, and then that kind of fizzled out into their little blood and guts war games type shit, and then that's it. On to the next pointless feud. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Are you sitting here hating on Chris Jericho right now?
I'm not. Chris Jericho is the GOAT. He's crazy. Like I don't. Okay. Did I like Chris Jericho's Ring of Honor run? Not really.
Did you understand what he was doing though?
Elevating the Ring of Honor title.
He was trying to be this. He was trying to be this dishonorable champion. By the end of the time his reign came, he was actually an honorable champion.
He's a dishonorable champion.
He's the honorable champion. Listen.
When he became honorable, Claudio tapped him out with a swing. So I mean,
I thought you had an issue with that.
I love the finish. It was unique.
Yeah, like I remember. I think Simon Miller did his review of the show, and he's like, people were complaining that Jericho tapped out to giant swing. If you were getting swung 30 times, would you not tap out? It was different.
Yeah, no.
It's like when was the last time somebody actually tapped out to the bear hug or to the torture rack? You know what I mean? Those are submission maneuvers, people.
Do I like this match? Maybe not. I don't know.
Now you said you think that the women's triple threat is going to have a lot of shenanigans. Well, why not this one?
Because everybody's supposed to be banned from ringside.
And that usually means something's going to happen. It's just like how we go, okay, steel cage match to keep everybody out of the ring. What happens? People still show up and get inside.
But this time everybody's banned from ringside. So I mean,
all they gotta do is put on a mask, Ken. That's all they gotta do.
I forgot because silliness. It should be a good wrestling match, depending. Am I off on Ricky Starks? I hope Ricky Starks does win. Hope he gets.
Remember, I said that I said late last year in one of my shows, by the end of this year, Ricky Starks will be world champion. I'm gonna stick with that.
Shit. I'm not going for that. But hey, we got a whole maybe 200 plus days to go. So I mean, we shall see. Let's go Trios Championship, the Elite House of Black. It's the only fucking trios they could have faced, but yeah.
The House of Black has to win this, right?
No.
They
don't have to do anything.
I can't see a way for the Elite to walk away with the championships at all.
Yeah, I see it. It was down 3-1 in a fucking that's a 7-1. So I mean, fuck it. Anything can happen with the Elite.
This might end up being the best match on the card.
Possibly. If it's not the normal young buckaroo shit. Yeah.
Because and I like that they haven't really touched each other. There's been no brawls, been no fights. It's just been except for Wednesday when the House of Black laid out the Elite.
Yeah, and it was pitch black.
So I think this will.
It may work. I think it can work to be a good match. So yeah, I mean, if House of Black wins, then what? They just hold the titles in purgatory, and then.
The one thing AEW is not hurting for is factions and trios teams.
Yeah, let Swerve's team go after the House of Black. That'll put some butts in the seats.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I hope. Okay. I'm going to say the Elite is going to win.
Okay. I got the House of Black. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Okay. More specifically, this match.
Okay. Slicey versus Emo Cowboy. Texas Death Match.
Who won the last Texas Death Match? I think Hangman has won all of them, right? Texas Death Match. Because AEW has had a few Texas Death Matches, actually. I think Hangman did win the last one. I think I was there for that one. I think that was Hangman versus. I think that was Hangman versus Lance Archer in Atlantic City. I was there for that.
Oof.
That's what,
so we're guaranteed blood. We're guaranteed.
Absolutely.
We're guaranteed. Are we guaranteed like shenanigans?
No, I don't think so. What I do believe though is they've been teasing it. The BCC going heel. They've been teasing it. It's been slowly coming along. Well, okay. It's going to be a good match. I know that. I can guarantee that it's definitely going to be a good match. The question is, who's the winner going to be? I'm picking Hangman only because John Moxley been trying to go on vacation for like 6 months now, dog. What does he have to carry the company? Like, yo, let the man go home, be with his wife and kid, and let Hangman get his bump. So I'm gonna go Hangman wins this match just so Moxley can get a vacation. How much they bleed? Lord.
Slicey.
Lord. It's going to be a fun match. I know that. Liv and Rhea out here having a banger of a match right now. It's good.
I want to ask this.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Moxley fought Kenny in the Lights Out match?
What they fought? Which you the Lights Up? Did they have Lights Out match, or do you mean the exploding barbed wire joint?
Not the bullshit match. Not the Sparkles. Literally the Lights Out match for them. Like when Moxley tore up the ring and stuff like that. And
okay.
So I believe it was on the Lights Out match. Like one of the better matches. Do we get some type of innovation in this match besides ripping up the ring and oh my God, it's the wood plank?
If there's any innovation coming, it's going to come from Hangman. Like Mox does the usual quote unquote innovative, the usual standard hardcore spots, and they're just elevated because it's John Moxley. But like Hangman, do you remember how Hangman retained against Lance Archer?
No.
This is when for some reason Mark Sterling was with Lance Archer. Not Mark Sterling, the dude from American Top Team, I can't remember his name. Dan Lambert. He was taking off the top turnbuckle to stop Hangman from doing the buckshot lariat. So Hangman did some spot where it ended up the ref was like bent over doing something, and he flipped over the ref and hit the buckshot lariat. I'm seeing something like that because Mox's spots are very, very simple. Okay, I'm sorry. Make sure you get the Mark Cam ready. They just showed this little girl in the crowd crying because Liv Morgan lost. The girl had to be about 7 years old, nice. In tears. Mark Cam. Do they need to be innovative?
Something different. We've seen 1,000 types of death matches. Oh, here's a chair, some barbed wire, some tacks, lottie-dottie. Like something to be like, ooh, that's something dangerous. Not like, I don't know. I just want to see something a little different.
Okay. I do like that this is the fourth match in the feud because in the rubber match, neither competitor liked how it ended. You know what I mean? I like that aspect of this feud. Well, we beat each other 1-on-1, even though you technically won the third match. I'm not with that. You know what? You're right. I don't like that either. I'm appreciating it. Here's the thing. We have 8 matches on this card.
And this match has the best storyline.
Yeah. For sure. It definitely has the best storyline.
It could steal the show tonight. It could.
It might be. It's probably between this and the Trio Championship match.
And the main event, Danielson, MJF.
Bro.
15-minute Iron Man.
Okay, so here's the thing. We know this is light work for Danielson. We know this is light work for Danielson. You know what I mean? The whole MJF's feuds start to run together. I don't know how many opponents he'd have made run a gauntlet or have to go through somebody to get if he's got to come at them in some way. It's starting to get redundant. But I don't genuinely believe we actually have ever seen MJF truly wrestle. Like, we know he's confident in the ring, you know what I mean? But actually wrestle. It's like in acting when you're in a movie with a super huge star that's also a phenomenon. It's like I'll give you a prime example. Safe House with the Denzel and Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is not known for his acting, right? But when you're opposite Denzel Washington, you got to up your game. So MJF, you're opposite Bryan Danielson. You have to up your game because we know.
So when MJF faced Darby, who had to up their game?
So for me, in that aspect, I think Darby had to up his game. Because I put Darby in the same vein. I think Darby's more of a fighter than a wrestler. He can do wrestling moves, but he's more of a fighter. And MJF is a wrestler, but he's below Danielson, if that makes sense. So, I mean, MJF did beat Darby Allin with the headlock takeover.
So with MJF, Punk, who had the other game?
And that's a good question.
Not really the dog collar match, because obviously Punk would have the upper hand with the dog collar matches. He had those in the past, and then Train kind of like had was student to Raven in their dog collar match and back in the day. So I mean, he kind of had to follow. He had to follow Punk's lead on that match in particular. But
I think in the aspect of the feud, I actually might say Punk, just because of that one. Was that one promo MJF did where he was telling a story about going to get the autograph? I think that showed Punk like, oh man, I got to kind of up it here just a little bit with this guy.
Also, let me ask you this:
mm-hmm.
Are Iron Man matches overrated? Do we actually give a fuck that it's going 60 minutes? We don't care until it's like 5 minutes left on the clock? Like for the casual wrestling fan, the person that doesn't like storytelling and stuff like that, they just want to see niggas just do moves.
Here's what I think. I think when it comes to Iron Man matches, they work best when it involves either two sports entertainers or two wrestlers, because you can tell you have this 1 hour to tell the story. For me, my favorite Iron Man match is probably still Brock Kurt on SmackDown. That's probably still my favorite Iron Man match. And I'll throw this out there: we actually don't get this match live. I think NXT at a point where they were just doing 30-minute Iron Man matches at a point during the Black and Gold. But when it comes to the actual match, we don't get these a lot. And I think that helps elevate it. So I don't think it's overrated. I think we care just because how often have we had an Iron Man match where it's just like a straight blowout?
Almost next to never.
Right. I want one Iron Man match like that, because you can get a great story out of that. Think about that. You wrestle for either 30 minutes or an hour, and you lost 4 falls to 1.
Now, will it be a low-scoring Iron Man match like Brock and Kurt, or will it be a type of Iron Man match, Dolph versus Seth, where the crowd ruined it?
I forgot they had an Iron Man match. Lord. I think honestly, I think this is a high falls Iron Man match, like 4-3.
Well, low scoring meaning, I'm sorry, Brett, Sean, they had a low scoring one, and it's the bullshit.
I think this one is a high one, just because MJF. I think MJF is one of the. He's like a nice combination. He's got the. He also does shenanigans. I can see him straight up doing something like beating Danielson down, getting himself disqualified twice just to get the upper hand. Yeah. But the question we need to ask is, who's winning?
MJF. Danielson don't want the title.
Yeah, MJF is winning. Yeah, I can't.
Danielson doesn't want the title. The next question. Well, we know MJF is winning. Who's his next challenger? That's the question.
You can. The one thing. AEW does something better, something significantly better than WWE, and they make it so that anybody's a believable challenger. I still think MJF's reign ends with Ricky Starks winning the championship. That's just me. Because that feud is far from over between them two. It's far from over. We got a taste. As his next challenger, it's okay. So I'll actually say, looking at the landscape right now, Hangman. If you look at everybody involved right now, Keith Lee is with Swerve, Ricky. They're not gonna do Ricky MJF this quickly. I think Mox is taking time off. Adam Cole.
Could be another one.
So, and you're not doing MJF. Jericho. I think the House of Black is winning, so Kenny is also an option, but I think the most obvious next choice is Hangman.
I got Adam Cole. Now you mention it, but if Emo Cowboy is the next one, then we can go with it.
Yeah, because if you just look at everybody else, when you pick faces, you know what I mean? I think Hangman and Cole are probably the top two.
Cole can come back as face and be fine with it.
So yeah, that's what I think.
Fair enough. We got AEW. So this is what, tomorrow or Sunday?
It's Sunday. Sunday.
I'm bored.
Because trash as NXT Roadblock is tomorrow.
Damn, I forgot Roadblock was tomorrow. That's not Carmelo Bronson.
No, Carmelo doesn't even have a match. Melo doesn't even have a match. I will watch Stand and Deliver just to see if they'll put the belt on Melo. Fine, take it up a Braun Breaker. The only match I'm definitely watching tomorrow for Roadblock is Roxanne Perez versus Meiko Sato Mayor. You give me two phenomenal wrestlers that can just put on a great wrestling match.
Well,
I'm locked in.
Booker's definitely creaming his jeans for that one. So,
I don't think a lot of people understand. I don't watch NXT like that anymore. I still keep up because that's what we got to do. They said Roxanne Perez versus Meiko Sato Mayor. I'm in. You know what I mean? You know, you can tease me. You when New Japan was like, you were gonna here's Mercedes Moné versus Kyrie. Okay, you ain't got to say much.
I'm out for it.
Because I'm almost sure we're getting pretty much getting another Forbidden Door 2 this year. Are we finally going to get Danielson Zack Sabre Jr.?
No. Zack Sabre Jr. What kind of Forbidden Door is it? Zack Sabre Jr. is a TV champion for Ring of Honor, so whatever.
He's defending the championship next week on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he's the TV champ. I mean, there's no Forbidden Door. You're the TV champ. It doesn't make sense. Now it doesn't make sense.
I mean, he's going to be on Ring of Honor next week.
And he's defending the TV title.
He is defending the TV championship.
So it doesn't make sense. You lost your opportunity. I mean,
Well, Danielson was hurt. We didn't really lose it. They can always just do the match.
I mean, he fought Claudio. He lost to Claudio. He could have beat Claudio for all that and then have a reason.
But
Claudio had to get his push. So, I mean, there you go. Other than that.
Where's the rest of Legato at? We're getting this getting a Santos Escobar push.
Where they're on the road to WrestleMania still.
We got 4 or 5 weeks left.
Yeah, and we got Bobby versus Omos as definitely a Vince match for that.
Brock versus Omos.
Yeah, Brock versus Omos, and
so all right, so
that's definitely a Vince match.
A lot of people believe that somehow Vince was wormed away because there's no way Triple H would book Brock versus Omos at WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Match. Even I think Bray and Lashley's a Vince match.
Well, if you believe the reports, Brock was like, "I'm not facing Bray. I don't want that. So do something else." Yeah, those are if we look at what we're projecting to get for the WrestleMania cards. But you know how I feel that I believe it should be Rhea versus Charlotte, and I'm saying it should be Rhea versus Bianca and Asuka versus Charlotte. But I'm fine. I don't know how they're going to drag out Asuka versus Bianca for another 4 or 5 weeks. But you look at the rest of what we think we're going to get: Austin Theory versus Cena, Sami and Kayla versus the Usos, Sheamus. Who was it? Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew for the Aussie title. Ray versus Dom. Those Seth versus what's his name? Logan Paul. Those matches make sense. Bobby versus Bray and Brock versus Omos doesn't make sense.
It's
at all.
Vince booking.
Like, I am just thoroughly confused. And here's the thing. Is Brock going to squash Omos?
Yes.
Brock just keep beating up on the blacks?
Got it. When the blacks get out of line, call Brock. So this is my other question. So Roman has probably 30 days. So he has some 35, 36, something along those lines before he reaches 1,000 days reign.
Mm-hmm.
So you could easily just fix that and just say, all right, Cody just wants the WWE championship. You could easily fix that problem and split the titles at the same time.
Which I thought was the original. I remember Cody's first time coming back, he said he wanted the WWE championship, not both belts.
Right, but now it's promoted as both belts, where he could just you get the one title, split it, and then Roman gets his 1,000 days and face Jay or whoever he's going to face afterwards. That's how you usually solve the problem. So if that's not the issue and it's for both titles, is a strong possibility that Roman is going to win at Mania, get his 1,000 days, and then Cody can win at Backlash.
1,000 days as Universal Champion, right?
Yeah, and then Cody can win at Backlash. But that's
win the WWE Championship at Backlash.
No, just win both titles at Backlash. He'll have his 1,000 days by then. You're ruining it.
Here's the thing is, sometimes I get annoyed when they just don't do the simple, obvious thing. Like last year, what was the point of Charlotte beating Rhea at WrestleMania? I mean, Charlotte beating Ronda at WrestleMania. A couple years before that, what was the point of Brock beating Roman at WrestleMania and them just having like 3 rematches and Brock won all of them until, was it Saudi Arabia where Roman finally won? They should have just done this match for the WWE Championship. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you Do it for the title, one championship. I'm pretty sure they're not moving Roman to Raw. They're not moving the bloodline to Raw at all. Just split the championships.
Who says they're going to be a bloodline to move?
Okay. I'm sorry. They're not moving Roman to Raw.
What if Roman just takes time off? There's a lot, and I'm not saying WWE booked themselves into a corner in this one. There's a few ways out of it. But
both shows need a world championship. And
I just told you this is a solution. Just get Cody to take the WWE championship. Keep Cody on Raw. Move Roman to SmackDown. And then you already got what you need. Just you got Jey Uso versus Roman. You can run that back and be perfectly fine. Whether he drops it to the Universal Championship or whether he keeps it, he does have both titles. Cody can do Seth. He can do Bobby. He could do a bunch of opponents. And it's fresh.
It's the same thing with the tag titles. We just had two quote unquote tournaments, each one for Raw, one for SmackDown. So at some point, you got to split the tag titles.
Well, they're going to win both. I don't think they'll split them per se. Or how about just there's another swerve? I mean, I don't know. It could be Jay turn on Jimmy and Sammy gets the win, and then it's just like I don't think they're doing another draft. I don't know how you split the tag titles. I actually don't know.
Well, what they essentially have to do is what they just did when they have two separate tournaments, one for Raw, one for SmackDown. But see, here's okay. So I think I kind of get why they did that with the two tournaments. Because I think they want to have Sammy and KO win both belts. They want Sammy and KO to be the first ones to beat the Usos, and then you can finally split them. So I guess hold another because the WWE Championship is Raw, Universal Title is SmackDown. So essentially you have to have another tournament.
Okay, so I don't think Drew and Sheamus is going to be a thing, so you could always put Rich and Pete Dunne in there. Can't use Street Profits because they're kind of itching for this Montez push a little bit, even though Angelo Dawson is stepping his game up also.
Yes. They have plenty of
bring the New Day back up.
They have plenty of tag teams. They have plenty of tag teams at this point. I think they have enough tag teams on the main roster and they can split the championships. I'm just iffy about the world championship. I think both shows need a world championship.
I just told you how to fix it.
I'm fine with everything you said except for Roman winning at WrestleMania.
That's also a legitimate swerve because give him the 1,000 days. At this point, who the fuck wants a 999?
I mean that's what the E does when somebody's close to a record. They either make sure they don't get the record or they break the record and then they lose whatever. It was like when like when Nikki became the longest reigning Divas champion or something, and then like as soon as she got that record, she lost the belt like 2 weeks later.
Or anything can happen the Raw after WrestleMania.
Anything can happen the Raw after WrestleMania. Do we get Rock Roman next year in Philly?
I'm going. So I mean, regardless,
they have to do this match.
Regardless how bad this card is, I'm going.
We're going both nights, WrestleMania and Philly. Told you I'm trying to hit up both WrestleManias. I think that Friday night I'm gonna try to do Supercard of Honor because he's definitely doing. There's definitely going to be a show at the ECW Arena, Cam. You know that for a fact.
And listen, definitely, we're getting like 50 shows in Philly alone.
You think? Here's the thing. So, Tower Theater, something at the Leah Chorus. It's gonna be.
Gonna have an event.
Yeah, don't forget that WWE's going to do Access at the convention center. Cam, we go listen. We gonna be in it. I don't care about the Hall of Fame ceremony. Even though if they make it a pure ECW Hall of Fame ceremony, that would entice me to go.
Jesus.
But I'm figuring Rhea just hit the riptide on Santos Escobar outside on the ground. Just put the belt on Rhea already. Oh my gosh. Oh, she's so over. Yeah, that WrestleMania in weekend in Philly, it's going to be so many shows, man. It's going to be so.
We got to hit up most of them.
I'm hoping Impact comes back at that point. Come back to Philly. Because remember, they're supposed to do like 3 weeks worth of shows in November and do a pay-per-view in Philly. And it was like, nah, we just go back to Nashville. So I'm a little hurt about that. It's going to be a lot of shows. I'm trying to do Ring of Honor Friday, Saturday and Sunday, WrestleMania, Monday, Raw.
Jesus. Well, stack your paper up. Make sure.
I'm gonna be ready.
Other than that, this is a review.
Oh, did you watch Mercedes versus Kyrie?
Yes.
What'd you think of the match?
I said it was a great match. Great match, great finish. Love the tweak to the finisher. It looks real now. So,
are you gonna? I think. Have you ever seen Mayu Iwatani wrestle?
No.
All right. Do you know who she is?
No.
Mayu Iwatani is probably the best women's wrestler on the planet. Like she's that good. She's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. So it looks like she's probably going to be Mercedes' next opponent. So, just get ready to watch that match. It's going to be another banger. But I'm excited. Other question: do we get Mercedes at Forbidden Door? She's technically a New Japan wrestler.
Versus who?
That's a great question. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Just as long as it's not Jade or Britt. Long as it's not Jade or Britt.
All right, Jamie Hayter versus.
Oh my god, that'd be so good. Either give me Hayter, Tony, or Sheeta.
Money.
You
got a show tomorrow or
tomorrow? We'll do a little bit more in depth of the Revolution and definitely take a look at Ring of Honor. The first episode we'll go in depth with that. Then the review show for Revolution will drop that. I'm gonna record it right after Revolution. Hopefully, it's not another hostage situation, as Cam likes to put it. Because
they're already taking an hour away from us, so
because they haven't even announced matches for the pre-show. There's definitely going to be matches on the pre-show. So got a nice big show tomorrow. I'm deciding whether or not to start reviewing NXT again. It's like, do I review NXT or do I review Ring of Honor? I'm probably just going to review Ring of Honor. I can't. NXT's kind of unwatchable at this point. But Melo don't miss. I'm pulling for the Melo future world title win. You know what I mean?
I don't miss, but main spider came and said, "Okay, put your mind with quick for Layla, all that good stuff." Follow Blood Cartel, Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, Twitch, all that good stuff. Follow the Jeremy Pierce.
Howard's Wrestling Podcast, right there. You can just everywhere. We just everywhere, and the Patreon's coming, and then you're gonna be seeing so much new content on the YouTube channel. I'm excited.
So WWE bring back Tout.
Tout. Oh my god! Oh my god! Tout. Whew. Whew, how that lasted.